second here. So what I mean by commissions is just kind of what your split should be. So you're not questioning how much you should be, what your commission split should be between you and your people as they're coming on. We're going to talk about prosperity. We're going to talk about Slack, E&O, Bootcamp, and then the AML process, and then work spots. So we'll get through this here in about probably 30, 40 minutes. You guys jump on and off as you need be. I know a lot of you guys are busy, but I think there'll be some weight to this for sure. So our process, I'll just start at the top. You've had a conversation with a person. They've decided that this is a good fit for them. You're a fit for them. They're a fit for us. And you decide to move forward in that process, right? So let me share my screen really quickly. And while this is doing its thing and pulling up, I'm actually going to show you guys this because we just found this out. And this might not mean anything to you guys right now at this present time. But they just changed. You guys see my screen? Somebody? Anybody?
Yep.
Okay. So we just found out, thank you guys. We just found out yesterday that they had, or day before yesterday, that they've changed the bonus, the VP bonus comp. And guys, when I tell you, does it take work? Yes, it does. You get 15, probably 10, 15 people on your team, and you are consistently writing or doing whatever it is you're doing to grow your business. You can get there. 150,000 minimum issue pay is at minimum $2,500 a month bonus. That is the absolute smallest bonus you'll get as a VP. Now, here's the other part of it. Before the old VP bonus, what you had to do to get the VP bonus before was it was tiered. So what do I mean by that? Let me pull this up here really quick, see if I can find it. Here it is right here. This is the old one. So if I confuse anybody, let me know. So in order for you to bonus as a vice president, or you'll hear called a VP, 100% of your Americo premium would count. So here's what that means. If you wrote $100,000 with Americo for that month, you would get, and you hit 150,000 of issue paid for that month, you got a bonus. Now, if you wrote Mutual of Omaha, and let's say you wrote 100,000 with Mutual of Omaha, only 75,000 of it would count as bonusable premium. Same thing with John Hancock, same thing with AMIA. Does that make sense for everybody?
Yes.
Somebody?
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. So here's what they've done. And in my opinion, I know Tim and I were giggling like two little schoolgirls just because I just can't believe, I really can't believe they put something like this in place. 2 months ago, they put the new agent bonus in place. So not only there's now an annual bonus, there's now a monthly bonus, minimum 30K. Renee, congratulations, by the way. Minimum 30K is a $500 bonus, and then it just continues to go up, right? But now what they've done is all the carriers, every carrier that we represent with FFL now counts towards that bonus 100%. So if you issue pay 150,000 yourself and your team, you're going to get minimum 2,500, but then there's a percentage that it continues to tick up. Now these percentages I think have been changed as well. There's a percentage. So it doesn't do like most companies do. Sean is completely, again, gone rogue with this, where everybody else is going left, we go right. So the more you make, or the more you write, the higher the commission goes, the higher the bonus goes. It's not the opposite. So think about some of the guys here that have $1 million agencies or even $500,000 a month agencies. Yeah, you do the math at 2.5% or 2.25% on everything your agency writes over 150K. So I just wanted to make sure we pointed this out. You guys understand this. They've simplified it. Not only did they simplify it, they've made it infinitely better. And all of us should be shooting to get to VP to get that bonus. By the way, and I'm going to ask this question because this just dawned on me last night when I was preparing. I'm not sure you have to be a VP in order to hit that. So if you go crazy one month and you and your team do 200,000 for whatever reason, I'm not sure if you have to be a VP to get that bonus or not. So Tim, do you know that? Have you heard anything about that? I might be bringing up something that nobody's asked yet.
Well, my understanding on that is, say you're not a VP and all of a sudden, like you said, you go $200,000, then, at that point you will be a VP. So everything's going to fall into line, and yeah, they would get the bonus.
Okay. Yeah. The chance, I mean, you could have something crazy happen, but that would be just a strange anomaly. So guys, I am going to try to get my arms around that, ask that question just so some of you guys know, because as you guys, whether you know this or not, I'm going to go ahead and show this to you since we're talking about it. So here's how this works. I don't think we have, matter of fact, I know we don't. I don't think we have anybody in all of Genesis that's at 90%, which is great. That means we're doing what we're supposed. We should never have anybody at 90. We should be moving people's comp up, right? So here's how this works. Let's say you're at 100% comp, okay? You're at 100% compensation. That's where you started at. When you write 15,000 issue paid 2 months in a row, you go from 100 to 105. You give yourself 100% raise. No one can stop you from getting there. No one. Upline, whatever, anybody else in your team, nobody. If you hit those numbers, issue paid 2 months in a row, you're going to go to the next level. Subsequent to that, if you're at 105 and you do 20,000, which is 5K a week issue, 20,000 2 months in a row, you go from 105 to 110. Okay. You have to do that 2 months in a row on the individual side. Hopefully I didn't screw anybody up there. Okay. 2 months in a row, you move to the next level, 5% increments. Once you obtain a level, you never go back. There's also no recruiting requirements for you to move up. So if you just want to come here and sell and not be bothered with recruiting and answering people's questions, et cetera, and trying to build and retain, then just sell. Here's the other part of it though. Let's say you're at the 100% level and you bring on 3-4 people, they come on, you guys go crazy. And that month you guys issue pay 75,000. That next month you go from 100 to 105. Let's say you bring on a couple more people and you guys continue to build and grow. And the next month you do 100,000 issue paid. You go from 105 to 110. So the builder side, which is the right side, it's every month you can move up based upon your production issue paid. And the left-hand side, the producer broker category, you have to do it 2 months in a row. Any questions there? All right. So if you guys want to see this stuff, it's out there on YouTube on our compensation guide. I'm going to have to redo it because they just released, or we just got our hands on, thank you, Amy, the new comp guide as well. So hopefully that makes sense to everybody. In reference to moving up and all that, if you guys see this on a weekly basis, this is posted. $10,000 issue pay as a bronze level producer, 15,000 is silver, 20,000 is gold. If you do it in a week, you're still at that level as you continue to move up. So Renee, I know she's been really pushing to get to platinum, and I just don't see any reason with what she's done so far for the month, with another week or so left, that she doesn't hit that. So Renee, early congratulations to you for being platinum for the first time as well. Have a chance to hit diamond, really. So here's how the levels go. Anybody have any questions so far? Any of this confusing? Somebody give me an amen. You guys still with me?
Amen.
All right. Perfect. All right. Keep you guys awake. So here's how this goes. Sales manager. Sales manager is the first line of defense, if you will, for leadership with Family First. With us, for you to be on the leadership team, we put some minor requirements in place, because the more people we have on leadership, the better. Obviously, more, putting more heads together, obviously going to come up with new ideas and make us more efficient. So here's how this works. When you do 50,000 issue paid in a month, that's yourself and your team. Now, if you see let's call this the asterisk here, 25,000 maximum production credit at the senior sales manager level. That means, Renee, let's say you had 3 people on your team, you're going to go probably 30, 40,000 this month. You can't go 40,000 and have 3 other people on your team write 10, right? And I'm just using Renee as an example because she's a very, very, very high producer. So what they're doing is making sure you're building a team and not a team of one. The next level of management, or leadership, if you want, I don't like the word management. Next level of leadership is senior sales manager. It's 100,000 of issue paid premium in a month. Again, same caveat, you cannot be more than 50,000 max of personal production. The cool part about that is then you get your logo. You're an official organization of FFL. The next level is VP, which is 150,000 issue paid in a month, which is where Tim's at. Must maintain 50K outside of your top leg. Okay. Same thing here. Next level, 300,000. You see the caveat there in black. 500,000. That's when the magic starts to happen with this thing. 500,000. You can see 200,000 is the outside of your top leg. Board members, $1 million. Senior board members, $2 million. And then executive board members, $3 million. I guarantee you next year they're going to have to push a 3.5, probably a 4, because there's people that are absolutely crushing this thing. So I know I went over that relatively quickly. Any questions on the leadership levels? And again, once you hit a level, guys, you never go backwards. All right. We're going to keep this train moving. Last thing that I'll talk about here, and again, we have our video on YouTube. I'm going to make another one here. Hopefully I can get it done this weekend with all the updated comp changes and all that stuff. So last thing that I'll point out here, let's just say at the top of the screen, because it's the easiest way to explain this, you're at 115%, 115% comp, okay? You only get paid renewal on whole life insurance. I'm going to say that again so there's no confusion. You only get paid renewal on whole life insurance. So here's the deal. You sell a whole life, final expense for someone, and they pay first month all the way through month 12. The 13th payment that they make, you're going to get 5.75% for year 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. Year 5 through 10, you're going to get 2.75% on every piece of business that you have written. Now, it's been told to me that regardless of carrier, this is our renewal grid. This is what Sean and Home Office has negotiated for us. The last caveat that I'll give you guys on here, you can see at 115, it's 5.75, and again, 2.75, year 5 through 10. Let's go down to the bottom left where it says 120%. So let's say you're continuing to help people and you've moved from 115 to 120 on either personal production or production with yourself and your team. When you have a piece of business, pays that 13th month, now you're going to make 6% year 2 through 5 and 3% year 5 through 10. But everything that you wrote when you were at the 115% tier, you will be paid at that tier. So as you advance up, the business that you wrote in that particular tier will stay in that tier. Does that confuse anyone? Are there any questions about that? Perfect. All right. So if you guys want to see any of this stuff, you Slack me and tell me what you want. I'm happy to send it to you. We just want to make sure you guys have a clear and good understanding of what we're doing here. Okay. So I know you guys are in this meeting and then you guys get your recruit and you go, oh, shoot, what am I supposed to do next? Right? So you've talked to the person, you've had your conversation with them. If you guys want me to help you interview them, you guys always know I'm here. I've interviewed tons of you guys as guys. So for your people, just let me know. I'm happy to help. So what you're going to do is you're going to come out here and you're going to complete the Genesis onboarding form. Simply come out here. You can click on either the picture or the actual black box, if you will. So I'm going to click on that. And what's going to come up is a Google form. It is their first name. If you read the, because I get questions about this all the time. If you just read what it says, it's pretty, we tried to keep it pretty black and white. New agent's first name, full middle name. We get a lot of times where people just put their initial, full middle name, last name, date of birth, street, city, state, zip code, phone number, new agent email, licensed or not. Okay, we need to know that because that depends on the welcome email that we send out to them. Their primary license state. I have 2 people right now that are moving from one state to the other. So they're applying for non-resident. When they get that, then we're going to start the process with them. NPN stands for National Producer Number. Also, pro tip here, when you're on HCMS and you see NPN number, or excuse me, NIPR number, they also mean NPN number. I don't know why they did it like that, but it's kind of weird. They shouldn't have. And then new agent starting compensation. So here's where I'm going to pause for a second to see if anybody has any questions before we move on. Any questions at all? Amy, anything I've missed so far?
No.
Perfect. All right. So new agent starting comp. This is your new agent's comp, not yours. Now, I would say a rule of thumb, at least for Genesis, I would be perfectly fine with you putting a 10 or 15% split between you and your new agent. If you're going to buy your agent leads to get started, I would say even 20% is fair. But here's what I think you should be doing. And I know we talk about this on leadership all the time, and here's what we're doing. Put a 10 or 15% split between you and your new teammate. When they issue pay their first $10,000, bump them 5. Okay. And then when they issue $25,000, if you want, if you started them at 20, I'd say bump them another 5. If they're doing this and they're doing this full time, and they're actually, even if they're doing it part time and they're, paying attention to what they're doing and trying to get better, at some point they don't They just don't need you anymore. And he's even on here right now. A case in point of that is Ramon. Ramon's on here. He's got Alex. He's obviously in constant conversation with Alex. I believe Alex is on a string now, and all those other things. And that's because of what Ramon's doing. That has nothing to do with me at all. I reach out to Ramon from time to time. Hey, you need anything? Ask him how his family's doing. And he's like, yeah, we're great. He doesn't need me, which is good. But, I like Ramon. So I like talking to him as well. So 10 to 15. If you're helping them with leads, go 20. When they hit 10K, give them 5. When they hit another, their first 25,000 issue pay, bump them another 5. I think that's the fair thing to do. Any senior leadership on here have anything to add with that, or if you're doing anything different, or any recommendations for anybody that's just recruiting?
That's how I do it.
Tim, anything different, bud?
No, I mean, that's all. I think if you're figure out what you're going to do, and I think what we kind of put together just to keep the confusion down, just really follow suit. And I think, like Corey said, if you're going to help them out with leads, a 20-point split, but always incentivize this thing for them. Let them know, hey, when you get here, we're going to bump you here. And the magnitude of, say, even a 5-point jump is, who gets a 5% raise a year, even at what they were doing? Hardly anybody does. So just keep that in mind and realize what you're doing for them as well, giving them a 5-point jump, but also incentivize it and make a big deal out of it.
Yeah. And here's the deal too, guys. I'll tell you this. This is and I'll call it what it is. This is the selfish side of this thing. And I'm the world's guiltiest. I'll be the first one to tell you. You're going to get some questions. You're going to be like, that's the dumbest ass question I've ever gotten in my life. We just talked about that. It was just on the training. If you get on the meetings and the trainings, you would have known that. And I'm guilty of it, and I'm still guilty of it. I probably said it yesterday. But here's the deal. If you have a 10 or 15% split and you got to pick up the phone constantly to help somebody, it doesn't sting as bad if you're making 5. And I know we can't see each other right now, but anybody says anything different is probably lying to you. But when it gets to the point where they know, go and look up the grid, or they know to call the Velocity in-home helpline, or they start to figure this thing out, I don't care about having a 5 or 10% split, because at that point, they're doing what they need to do. And if they need my help, I'm here. Case in point, Ramon, right? Case in point, Renee. Renee knows what she's doing and does it at a high level. She has questions every now and then. They're usually really, really, really good questions, and she's building and growing. That kind of stuff we don't have an issue with, right? And she's at every meeting we have, and et cetera. So I continue. New agent starting compensation level, just as it says. That's what you're starting your agent at. 10 to 15 when they're just getting started. And then if you're going to help them get supplement that with leads, 20% is just fine, because it's not your job to take care of people. Full name of direct upline. Please put your full name, your phone number, your email address, and then your compensation, and hit submit. When you do that, it's going to send a form to us. We're going to email it back to you, so you have it in a PDF format. And then that's when all the magic happens. Okay. So I'm going to take myself off of here so you guys can see me. Not that you want to, but all right. So from that standpoint, what's going to happen is you've completed that form. We also have a website, guys. Join FFL Genesis. You guys can go out there if you want to take a look. What's happening is when people, I post a lot, as you guys know, on social media, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn. We have a Genesis Facebook page. So I try to post anywhere between 5 to 10 times a day. If I'm posting 5 to 10 times a day on social media, on each one of those platforms, I'm posting anywhere between 75 to 100 times a day. Do I do it every day? I try to, including Sundays. Does it always happen? I usually post a minimum 3 to 4 times a day. Anybody posting, Renee, I see everything you post, and I try to like all of it or to add a comment. Anybody recently started posting that's having some luck, if you will, with, I guess it's not really luck, but starting to have some results from posting on social media? Not put anybody out there, but just curious if you guys are having any luck. I'll tell you, for me, that's my primary source. That's my primary source of recruiting is social media. And I just post other people's stuff. I post you guys' numbers. The numbers that came up, we had a tremendous day yesterday, basically 18,000. I put a thing out and sent it last night. Literally, somebody's already messaged me on Facebook today, this morning already. They're interested. So
hey, Corey.
Repost. Yes, Christy.
Yeah. So mine has been LinkedIn is where I've been getting most of my, either people wanting to, picking up more, hey, I see what you're doing, either interested in what I'm doing to either hire me or just about the job.
Awesome. Let me show you guys something here really quick. Thank you, Christy, for bringing LinkedIn up. I wasn't even thinking about that yet this morning. Let me show you guys something really, really quick. Yeah, we're at 8:23. Okay. Because all the information I got, guys, I could do this all morning long, bore you guys to death. So I'm going to go to LinkedIn. Here's a very simple way, and it's free to recruit people. Now they've got Navigator, you've got all these other things. So check this out. You guys can see, I think I was on here yesterday. Seeking Opportunity Sales, St. Louis, Missouri. You can put Seeking Opportunity. You can see I spelled it a little bit different. Seeking Opportunity, like whatever. So I'm going to type in, I'm just going to hit the button here, Seeking Opportunity Sales. Okay, Seeking Opportunity Sales. So what this will do is I'm going to click on the people button up at the top of there, and why it's thinking, now this thing's being weird. Hold on one second. Never done that to me before. Okay, so Seeking Opportunity Sales, I clicked on people. Did you guys see that? Top of the screen?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I thought, yeah, I got scared for a second. So all you do is type in Seeking Opportunity. I could have put in Seeking Opportunity Sales, Seeking Opportunity St. Louis, Seeking Opportunity Combined Insurance, Seeking Opportunity AILs, whatever the case is, it's going to pull it up. Now, if you guys look at the top of the screen, right under where it says people, connections, location, and current companies, you can filter this down. By the way, this is completely free. But I put in Seeking Opportunity Sales. So everyone that puts Seeking Opportunity, and you hear I keep saying it over and over, that put Seeking Opportunity in their LinkedIn profile, they had to go in and manually do that. 266,000 people put that in their search. And it knows that I'm in St. Louis, right? So look at all those people that came up. So literally, guys, all you have to do is go on it. Now, you can probably only do about 50, 60 a day, because LinkedIn they'll think you're spamming. So I'm just going to click on the little button there, and it's going to send her a connection. So if this person connects back with me, I'll send them a very, very, very simple message. Thank you for connecting with me. Looks like you're looking for, are you still looking for opportunity? Because I don't want to go, thank you for connecting with me. Have you heard of Family First Life? We offer really, really high compensation. You should come be on our team, right? That's intrusive. I'll just put something very, very simple. Like I said, if she responds back, hey, Victoria, thanks for connecting back with me. It's always great to connect with people here locally. Looks like are you still in the avenue? Are you still looking for opportunity? That's a much softer approach. If she says yes, can I send you some information about our organization? I'm going to send her the Join FFL Genesis website, and then I'm going to send her maybe the comp grid, and that's all I'm going to do. Hey, take a look at this. If you'd like to, find out more, hit me back, and we'll set up a virtual interview. That's all I do. And guys, you would be shocked at how many people actually get back with you. But if you came out here once a day and just came out here, so that's 2, that's 3, that's 4, that's 5. These people are here in St. Louis. Here's in Arizona, 6, 7. Oh, this person I'm already connected with. 7, that's 8. So anybody have any questions about how to do this? Anyone can do this. Anyone. It's not complicated. Also, I'm gonna go ahead and put myself out there. If you don't have a LinkedIn page, or you're not familiar with how LinkedIn works, or what you should do, etc. I'm not telling you I'm a LinkedIn master by any stretch of the imagination, but I've got, I think, about 3,500 contacts or followers and stuff like that on here. Not that I care about that stuff, but I get a lot of views. If you guys can see the screen, 383 people who viewed your profile, post views, and I think this is in the last 30 days. So I just post, keep reposting. If I see something about FFL, if I see any of you guys' stuff, I post. Pretty simple stuff. Any questions there?
You said you send them the comp grid and what else?
I just send them the comp grid, Renee, and then I send them this link to our website, to the recruiting website. That's all I do. I will tell you, with recruiting, less is more. I'm sure. So I even get some of you guys send me email that when somebody from FFL is trying to recruit you, they're doing the email blast, which is great. But LinkedIn is a more professional setting. I'm sure all of you guys would agree with that. It's a more professional setting. And I think if you come in and don't come in hot, I've gotten some messages and they're like, the message is 2 days long and I'm not reading it. Think about how we've been programmed with Twitter and TikTok and, some of the other things, that your message needs to be less than 200 characters. And you need to have something in the beginning that hooks them. You need to have a call to action and something they can do right now. Otherwise, you're going to completely lose them. So they're the one that put seeking opportunity in their search. And guys, you never know when you're going to find the next Renee. You're going to find the next Mark, the next Gregory Pitts, that kind of stuff. You just never know. That person is looking to make a switch, make a move. I made a post yesterday. I'm not saying you guys have to repost it or anything like that, but I would definitely be talking about that VP bonus, because I'm telling you guys, there's people out there that are building teams at other organizations that wrote a ton of premium last month that probably didn't bonus because they didn't hit a recruiting ticker, or they took 0.5% of a point or whatever, those kinds of things. So I'm happy to help any of you guys with that marketing stuff. I like it when Mark rubs my shoulders and tells me I'm a really good marketing person, because he was in marketing. So I don't have any idea what I'm doing. I just know it works.
You're good, Tori.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. It means a lot coming from you. It really does. All right. Any questions there as we move forward? Hopefully you guys are getting some value out of this stuff. All right. So now you've sent the information in, and you sent the information in to us, and it's either the person is licensed or not licensed. Again, the Genesis onboarding form will tell us that. We get the information, and then that's when Amy goes to work. If they are not licensed, it is very simple. They're going to get the information that's going to have them get set up with Excel or wherever they're at in the country, whichever one of those licensing deals it is. We pick that up for them. Usually it's $200. We cover it for them. And then from there, they're going to go out and they're going to get all that stuff completed. Give them 2 weeks to do it. I know we talk about this every week. If you give people more than 2 weeks, they're not coming. I know some of us think that they are, but they're not. And then it's month 3, month 4, month 5, month 6, and they never come. So save yourself the headache. From there, if they are licensed, this is where it gets fun, right? You've done all the stuff. You've completed the onboarding form. You said that they're licensed. You send the stuff in. It comes to Amy and I, comes back out to you. So you have it in a PDF format. So what's going to happen is they're going to get an email from HCMS. You're going to complete the information for HCMS. It's going to tell you, basically, welcome, you've taken care of everything. The third email you're going to get from HCMS is then going to connect you with SuranceBay. From SuranceBay, what it's going to do is going to take you out. You're going to only apply for the Big Four on SuranceBay. I know I'm being very demonstrative and deliberate, but we say this every week, and then people go in and they just hit the button and they just go down the list. Amy's already starting to shake her head. So they go to SuranceBay, Americo, John Hancock, AIG, Mutual of Omaha. Prosperity, you will have to send them separately. We won't have time today to go over Prosperity, but I do have a video out there on YouTube that you guys can watch on how to do Prosperity. It's not very difficult at all. We also have, when you have new people that need E&O, if you go on our site, it's under $360. If you scroll down to additional resources, I think FFL has a deal with somebody. I'm not sure who it is, but it's discounted and it's prorated. So right now, I think it starts over in March of every year. So you guys go out there, take a look at that if you need to. So they send them, you send them SuranceBay. They fill out Americo, AIG, John Hancock, Moo. You're going to help them. You're going to send them the link for Prosperity. And then from there, they're going to go back to HCMS, and then they're going to complete these other carriers. Now, I know there's a slew of other carriers out there, but I think if we give them too many, it starts to get confusing, right? Confused mind does nothing. They're going to apply for AMAN, which is American Amicable for those of you guys that are new, Foresters, Aetna, Great Western, and Transamerica. And I know I've kind of punched Transamerica in the mouth a few times. Tim is getting a hold of some information, and I think sounds like he's going to be able to get the trans guy on one of our training calls on a Friday here coming up real soon. So I'm going to be all ears for that, Tim, and I appreciate that. So keep in mind, guys, there are a ton of other carriers out there. CFG, Royal Neighbors, Occidental, United Home Life. We're supposed to be getting another one, Liberty Bankers, I think, Amy, is that right? Liberty Bankers. There's some of our competitors that have them, so I'm sure they've been knocking on Sean's door. NLG, FNG, Gerber, all this other stuff. Some you have to write on paper. We're not going to get involved, get too much into that now. But if they do Americo, AIG, John Hancock, and Moo on Insurance Bay, you send them Prosperity. That's 5 carriers. Then they do AmAm, Foresters, Aetna, Great Western, Trans. Guys, that's 10 carriers. They really don't need that many. So just keep that in mind. Amy, anything else you'll add before I move forward through this?
Hey, can I add something in on that?
Absolutely, Tim.
Okay, guys, if you work for Mutual of Omaha as a sales rep, guess what companies you get to write? That's right, one, Mutual of Omaha. And where we were at before, we had one company. Am I right, Corey?
That's correct.
Yeah. So guys, don't buy what they're selling. And what I mean is when somebody says, "Oh, I got to have all the carriers," that's just a camouflage for I don't want to get out there just yet and get it done. Because at the end of the day, I mean, Prosperity can cover just about 98% of the people. I mean, just, and then the 2%, right, AIG, or maybe it's 5%. But again, at that point, when you do go out, you're going to at least have 2 carriers. So just don't make a big deal out of it, and don't let your people make a big deal out of it, and set the right expectations.
And the quicker that you get your new, thank you, Tim, the quicker you get your new teammates writing, the better off they are. That you're just going to have to shake that off. And a lot of it is just fear, just like as Tim said. Like, oh my God, I'm actually going to have to get out there and do this and start making these phone calls and people yelling at me and all this other stuff, which we focus on instead of the other stuff, right? Where we're making money and helping people, etc. But thank you for adding that, Tim, for sure. Amy, anything you would add from the recruiting standpoint of that processing, if you will?
No. Well, yes. Do you have contracting document, the new agent? Do you have that to where you could pull it up on your screen?
Go keep talking because I know where you're going. Let me see if I can find it really quick.
Yeah, I just basically, if you're licensed, you're going to get this document. You've probably already seen it. It walks you through the process step by step, literally through HCMS, your way back to HCMS. But I don't know if people don't read it, if they think it's just not helpful. It's literally step by step, but I still get questions all day, every day, which is fine. I'm always here. Reach out to me. But yeah, it will walk you through the process step by step. So we haven't found any inconsistencies in it yet. If anybody finds any, let me know so we can get it edited. But yeah, just follow that document step by step once you start the contracting process, and it should be good.
Yeah. And again, I think it's just, Amy, you're spot on. I just think it's people just don't, I'm a little bit confused. And instead of me taking the time to look the information up, I'm just going to call, which again is okay in some instances, but it's literally laid out. It even has pictures, etc. in it that you can do. Amy, I'm trying to find this. I'm going to look for another 10 seconds here. Not all my stuff's opening up in my books, and I know I have it. But literally, guys, if you're recruiting and you haven't taken the time to read through this, please read through it. You're going to save yourself a ton of headaches, a ton of questions. And I'll mention this too, just because Mick's just getting started and he's on, with us. I start breaking this stuff down in pieces because Amy's sending the email out, but I'm breaking this stuff down in pieces. And Mick, I'm not putting you on the spot at all. You don't even have to take yourself off mute. But when he called, we had just a couple things. He'd done this and he's like, okay, I got that done. What's next? And I told him we were going to break it down in pieces. He said, I started looking through that and it's pretty self-explanatory. If I have any questions, I'll reach out to you and let you know. It seems pretty simple. That was a 3-way call that we had with Mick yesterday. So I think if you urge our people to do that, the better off we'll be. And I can't find it. I don't know why it's not in my books. If you'll resend it, I'd appreciate it. You resend it to me. I know I have it in there somewhere, but I'm not going to waste time right now. Cool. Here's another thing that we're starting to hear, I think, less and less about. And I don't know why, but if you're not completing the boot camp, you're probably costing yourself money. And here's what I mean by that. The boot camp's going to give you 50% of what you need to get started. Literally, it's going to cover everything from top to bottom. It's not like you're going to get hammered and all that kind of stuff. They just ask you questions at the end of the boot camp as you're going through it. But if you're not completing the boot camp, you're literally putting yourself behind the 8 ball. And there's some very simple things that you're going to know if you complete the boot camp. And it's getting pretty evident. I know even with Tim, when we talk on pretty much on a daily basis, it's real obvious who's completing the boot camp and who isn't when people get started. And yeah, does it take a little time to go through? Absolutely, but it's definitely worth it. There's also a 20K boot camp, which I don't know why FFL's just stopped talking about it. I think it's a little weird because it's awesome. I've actually gone through the 20K boot camp twice, and thank you, Amy, and picked up a couple things out of it. So it's either you issue pay 20K in a month, or you have a team that issue pays 150,000 in a month. You get free access to this course that they say is worth $20,000 subsequently. But it's a very, very good course. Highly recommend it. So I know we've kind of gotten away from that, but I think the boot camp's a great thing. Guys, we're almost to the end, believe it or not. Just wanted to throw this back out there as well. Maybe I might have time to go over prosperity, but want to throw this out there as well. Work spots for those of you guys that are new. This office is a work spots location. So what it does is we have spots for people to come and do dials, come to do training. I offer myself up every Thursday from 12 to 1. This week, we're going to be doing Aetna. So I literally go through an Aetna application. Anybody that's here, that's a part of Work Spots in St. Louis can come and listen, share their ideas on what they do. The last couple we've had have been really, really, really good. They've been really good. I think last week we had 9 people, and I think we had 8 the week before. So it's kind of cool when you have that many people here and people are sharing their experiences. You just iron sharpens iron, right? Work Spots is $99. It's $99 a month, which you're going to write it off. You have discounts. The discounts itself will pay for Work Spots. If you don't have it, it's not something you necessarily have to do. But if you're going to buy leads off the CRM, it's silly not to, my opinion. If you're going to buy leads off the CRM, here at our office, you get 200 print. Well, the printer's actually coming today, but you'll have 200 prints of copies a month with the printer. You have access to snacks, coffee, basically 24/7 access to the office. And then we have cubes and stuff like that here as well. So I think Work Spots is a good deal. Not anything necessarily you have to do. One of the last things that I'll mention is AML. Talking about iron sharpening iron. Amy's been on some administration meetings. For those of you guys that are new, you should be explaining to your people they're going to have to do AML, which is anti-money laundering with Prosperity. They're also going to have to do it with Mutual of Omaha, and then they're going to have to do it with Americo. But here's the deal. You're still going to have to do Prosperity because they do their own. It's just the videos that you watch. That's it. There's no quizzes. But WebCE, the one that WebCE does, and Amy, you can jump in at any time. The one AML, anti-money laundering, that WebCE does pretty much covers everything else. So moving forward, when I'm going to have anybody new that I have started, do WebCE if they don't have it, if they're already licensed, and then do, of course, the one for Prosperity. So Amy, you're up.
Yeah, you can do, that's just, I guess the next best thing is WebCE. Limra's usually a go-to. I know Mark uses that. But I don't, personally, we have more issues with Limra. I don't know. I think Mark said you don't usually have issues. So you could do Limra and Prosperity, or you can do WebCE and Prosperity. I mean, there's loads of AML you can use. I have a list if anybody wants it, but just for ease, just to be easy and, not get too confusing, WebCE or Limra, and then of course Prosperity. But WebCE has been reporting to even AMM. I'm not sure if Limra, if you have to do AMM separately, but with WebCE, it's literally just WebCE and Prosperity.
I did.
You do have to
Limra.
pay for WebCE. You do have to pay. It's around 10, 12, 13 bucks.
15 bucks.
But it gives you discounts for future CE. So
I will
what did
tell
you say, Renee?
I did the Limra and I had to do AMM separately.
Okay. So if you do Limra, you'll have to do Prosperity, AMM, and then Limra's. If you do WebCE, it's just Prosperity and WebCE. Limra's free, WebCE costs.
Yeah. So
either one, I can't help you with because that's not our company. So if you have issues, you'll have to reach out to WebCE or Limra yourself, because I can't do anything about that.
Yeah. So hopefully that's clear. Thank you, Amy, for that, for sure. Since we have a couple minutes, guys, I'm going to run through Prosperity really quick, because I know we'll get these questions, especially for people that are starting to recruit and that are new. This will be the last time I share my screen, I promise. So I'm going to walk you guys through this super quick. And if anybody has any questions, if not, I'll let you guys go about your day. First thing is HCMS. You guys see, when I get your information that you guys have applied for another carrier and it's been approved, I email it back. Even if it's been sent to you, I email it back to you and say, hey, please make sure you enter this carrier in HCMS. I also copy Amy in on that as well. I copy Amy in on that as well, just to make sure that she's aware. There's some of the carriers she has to put in. So she usually says, I have to put that one in, and she puts it in HCMS. So pretty simple. I'm pretty sure it's going to get to a point where they're going to say, if your people aren't putting their stuff in HCMS, you're probably not going to get paid. I can see them going that route. Pretty simple task. If your people are active and doing the things that they should be doing, we should be able to take care of that task pretty quickly. All right, so Prosperity. So here's the deal with Prosperity. As a person that's bringing people, a leadership person that's bringing people on, with Prosperity, you have to set up your own invitation codes and links. So I'm going to go over this very quick. If I confuse anyone, if you have any questions, let me know. I'll back up. Also, there's a video on our YouTube page where you can go out and slow it down, back it up, rewind, whatever the case is. So I'm going to cover this whole thing in about 2 minutes. So this is step by step. Insuranceadmin.com. Click on contracting. Click on invitation codes. Click on the product, which is New Vista. When you click the drop down, New Vista is going to come there. Select Prosperity Comp, and then make sure that matches the FFL comp. So I'm going to stop here at the 4th level. Here's what I mean by that. Your compensation level with FFL is different than what Prosperity pays. So let's do 135 just to keep this simple. If you're at 135% compensation level with FFL, the maximum that Prosperity will pay is 120%. Okay. Now, remember we mentioned earlier when we were talking about compensation that we only pay renewal for whole life. So these are whole life plans. So year 2 through 5, 6.75%, and then year 6 through 10, 3.75%. Okay. 9-month advance with a $3,000 max advance. So here's what I mean by that. If you write a huge policy and your commission is supposed to be $5,000, they're going to advance you $3,000. Those people are going to pay their monthly premium. Usually, on average, it's going to be about the 9th month. When they exceed what the company's already advanced you, then you'll start to receive the rest. Does that confuse anyone? Most carriers work that way if you have large commissions. So when you see people write, let's say they write $15,000 in one home, they do not receive that full 15 grand. The cool part about that is, and the company's really protecting us, which I think is super smart. The cool part about that is when they write huge policies, when we write big policies like that, you're starting to build in a pretty nice, I guess, early residual, really. That's just going to continue to grow. I have some big policies that I wrote that have come up at that point now, and it's awesome for $500 or $600 to just show up. It's pretty nice. So anybody have any questions about what I've covered so far? All right. Same thing if they're at 140. If you're at 140% comp with FFL, the maximum Prosperity is going to pay us 125. Year 2 through 5 is 7%. Year 6 through 10 is 4%. Now let's go to number 5. Click on the product Prime Term SUS SA. Select 90% for all agents. That is not a product we sell. Don't overthink it. Just click the boxes and move forward. Number 6, that's what we were just covering. Advance. Click on 9 months at settle. If you see a 3,000, or excuse me, a 3,500 or higher, you can click it, but it's only going to be 3,000. That is the max, the maximum that they're going to advance it. So if you're in some states and you see 3,500, just click 3,000. If you put 3,500, it's still going to pay 3,000. And then here's where this gets interesting. Just to make sure you guys understand this. Labels. So you're going to name the label what the actual commission is. That way, when you come back out there, you know exactly what it is. So let me give you an example. If that person's at FFL comp 140, right? The maximum they're going to pay is 125. So let me walk you guys through this very quickly because I've already got them built out. I'm going to log in. Let me go ahead and sign into Insurance Admin. And then the top left-hand corner, which this isn't a video, by the way, I'm just going to click on invitation codes. Invitation codes. And here they are. So let's just go to the 100 right here at the top. In parentheses, you guys see I put FFL right here. FFL 100. FFL's 100 is Prosperity's 85. 2 through 5 is 5%. Year 6 through 10 is 2%. Is everybody clear there? Okay, I'll take silence as acceptance.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Perfect. You can see advanced 9 months at 3,000, and you want to click on at settle vested immediately because we are vested immediately. Thank you, Sean Mike. And then contracting link. If you just click on the little green check mark there, or clipboard, excuse me, it's going to copy that link. I'm going to make this smaller again. It's going to copy that link, and then you can then send that link to someone, or you can hit the email button and it will take you directly into your email, and then the link will be in there, and then you can send it to that person. So you can see we have 100, 105, 110, 115, 120. And again, I'm going to shrink this down one last time. You can see the 100 and the new Vista is 85. You can see the 105, new Vista is 90. FFL 110, new Vista 85, 95, excuse me. 115, new Vista 100. Now I'm going to go back to this other thing here, so you guys remember those percentages. Same thing here. 145 is Prosperity's 125. FFL's 135 is Prosperity's 120. FFL's 130, Prosperity's 115. Any questions? Pretty simple stuff. If you get tripped up over this the first time you're going out here and trying to build your codes, let me know. I'm happy to help. There's also a video on YouTube. Before we go, Amy, anything else that you'd like to add this morning before we ride out this morning?
Nope, I'm good.
Happy birthday, girl. We appreciate you. Tim,
Thank
Mark. You guys probably run into appointments. Last thing I mentioned, we have.
Hey, man. Yeah, sorry,
Yep.
I had you on. Hey,
That's
just kind of on a lighter note, when your new folks are signing up in Slack, make sure they use their first and last name and not something like Big Daddy Kane or anything like that, just so that we know who that person is, or an email address or anything like that. First and last name is fantastic.
That was great. Big Daddy
Yeah,
Kane.
Tim just referenced Big Daddy Kane. You just
Out of all
I
the
thought
names you
Amy's
could have
birthday
said.
made my day, Tim. That's pretty funny. For you guys that
So,
don't know
Tim.
Big Daddy is, that's hilarious.
So Tim, Big G from the D, that's not acceptable.
Hey, man, you could put gorgeous Gregory Pitts in there if you want to.
Gorgeous Gregory. That sounds like a wrestler. The last thing, thanks, Tim. And that's actually is a good point.
Big Mama Christie. See what Christie put on.
So, and if you think about this too, guys, I know when you come here, like there's not a lot of people that know who you are. Some people are trying to stay anonymous because they might be transitioning from another company. That's okay. But just put something in there that people recognize from that standpoint. Even if you have to change your last name, we'll know who that is. But sometimes you stand out more. Like we have somebody here that's trying to stay anonymous, which is pretty funny. But at the same time, when you do those kind of things, you use your first name and just your last initial, that stands out more than you just using your name. It's almost better if you were to call yourself Mike, whatever, Mike Jones or Mike Smith or something like that. Just so you guys know, because you'll have your people that will transition from other agencies or other companies here, and they'll ask that, can I stay anonymous? Absolutely. If you guys look what I posted just to protect somebody here, because they're kind of going through that mentally, and I completely understand that, and I'm sympathetic to it. So I get it. But if you guys see this here, I just posted it. Should have been yeah. You guys there still?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you. Last thing, I don't know why this thing does that. Last thing, if you guys are wanting to use ZipRecruiter, I think everybody that was that said they wanted a Zip ad has been in that connection with Savannah. She's been a little slow to respond. I know she finally put a message back out there the other day. It's $50 a month per spot. What is a spot? Any city, St. Louis, Dallas, Houston, could be Kalamazoo, could be Catawissa, Missouri, could be Independence. Any city is considered a spot. So if you're interested in doing that on ZipRecruiter, just send me a Slack message. Tell me what cities you want. I'll check and make sure that those aren't oversaturated or that they haven't already been selected. And then we can go from there and you'll just be billed monthly for those. So they sent me a bill for those, but Savannah hadn't gotten back to me. So I sent the bill back to them. We're not paying that. So if you guys are interested in locations, please let me know. I'll include you in the Slack with Savannah. Any questions before we go? Yes, I do, Renee. Still got him. And I think you were on that, you're on that Slack line with Savannah. Thank you. All right.
Was I supposed to receive something? Because I didn't.
Well, no, because I'm waiting for her to basically let us know that she started it so we can go out there and run the ads.
Oh,
But she's
okay.
able to, yeah. You should be able to see the response on Slack. So anything else? Awesome. Amy, thank you. Happy birthday. Good to see you guys this morning. Good luck out there on the last day of the week. And bye for now, guys. Stay safe.